Overview of the first annual review. The first annual review of Pierce County, Wisconsin was released on January 1, 1856. The review was published by Oliver Gibbs, Jr. and Chas. E. Young. It was published through an independent newspaper that is dedicated to the appeals of Pierce County. On June 27, 1856, the review was advertised again in the Prescott Transcript. Young and Gibbs noted that the first annual review was a detailed and historical brochure of 48 closely published pages. There were multiple pieces included in the review by different individuals. Thorough information was provided about Pierce County. The publishers shared positive features and qualities about Pierce County. Throughout the review, Pierce County was referred to as a she. Within the review, the publishers included land features, profitable nature, horticulture, settlers of Pierce County, etc. For example, Young and Gibbs discussed the geographical separation of the county. They mentioned the fact that the eastern part of Pierce County was favorably watered and exceedingly timbered. In the southern and western portions of the county there were prairies and oak openings. Topographical descriptions of the towns within Pierce County was also incorporated in the first annual review. One town that was discussed was Prescott, Wisconsin. It is mentioned that Prescott was a thriving community. For example, there were 3 steam sawmills that were utilized in the town, and they were successful. Although there were 3 steam sawmills that were used, there were many mill locations that remained underdeveloped. Positive features of Pierce County. There are many things included in the review that described the positive aspects of Pierce County. In the review, the publishers painted a positive picture of what Pierce County was like. They stated that the landscape of Pierce County shaped a vision of breathtaking beauty. During the summer, there were bright colors of wild flowers that contrasted with the natural and green tint of the adjoining prairies. Young and Gibbs believed that there was nothing in nature that created a more flawless scene. Another thing the publishers thought was important to include in the review was the significance of the soil in Pierce County. S.R. Gunn stated that the true fortune of Pierce County is in the richness in the soil. He insisted that the soil of Pierce County was very fertile and beautiful, and that there were no other areas or regions that overshadowed it. Gunn also concluded that Pierce County was at the top of the list as a wheat-growing country. He mentioned that if they were at the top of that list, then they must have been first when it comes to the wealth-making profession by agriculture. According to the review, Pierce County's ability to haul out and repair steamboats was another positive aspect of the county. The publishers believed that Pierce County's operation was more successful than any other on the western rivers. There were 5 main arguments that contributed to why Young and Gibbs believed that Pierce County's operation was the most successful. The first reason was because Prescott occupied a central position, and was eventually going to become a meeting point of the boats of the St. Croix and the Mississippi River. Secondly, the water from the levee from the intersection of the 2 streams never froze. That allowed the boats to come and go at any time. The third argument was because there were no issues that came about from floating ice. Steamboats were able to winter in Pierce County without being harmed. The fourth justification was because the county had a low bank, which allowed boats to be hauled out at a modest elevation from high-rise watermark. This saved time and money. Lastly, Pierce County had superior timber. The publishers mentioned that the more timber and the greater diversity led to more shipbuilding. Settlers of Pierce County. The first annual review of Pierce County also contains information about individuals who may have settled in Pierce County. JWB indicated that the population of Pierce County was made up of sturdy settlers, men who were fearless. There is a section of the review that focused specifically on Prescott, Wisconsin. Those who had settled in Prescott and other towns within the county had traveled mostly from New England and the western and northern states. The pioneers brought along with them ancient traditions, which in turn gave Pierce County a sense of a New England town. According to Silas Chapman, Prescott was at the opening of the St. Croix, and was predicted to be the biggest in Pierce County, but also in the entire country between Lake Superior and La Crosse. In 1837, there was a treaty made with the Dakotas of the Sioux. The purpose of the treaty was to gather all of their territory east of the Mississippi. Obtaining their territory drew in settlers from the states. Prescott Business Directory. Young and Gibbs were often considered boosters of Prescott. A business directory for Prescott was also incorporated in the review. There were a variety of advertisements that were included in the review from local business owners and employers. The selection of the ads ranged from things like grocery ads to drugstore ads, etc. For example, an ad about a Prescott hotel was added. The advertisement was written by C.P. Barnard. In the ad, it is mentioned that the hotel was located where there was a beautiful view of the river and lake. Barnard also stated that customers' baggage were taken from and to the boats without them having to pay. A jewelry store advertisement was also found in the first annual review. Items like silver and plated ware, clocks, watches, jewelry, etc., were being sold at the jewelry store. Another advertisement that was included in the review was a horses and carriages ad. Horses and carriages were being advertised at equitable rates of hire. Notes. Chapman, S. 1856. Handbook of Wisconsin. 2nd ed. pp. 93-94. Milwaukee. Y. S. Chapman, Young, C. E. and Gibbs, Jr. O. 1856. January 1st. First Annual Review of Pierce County, Wisconsin. The Prescott Transcript. pp. 148. Young, C. E. and Gibbs, Jr. O. 1856. June 27th. First Annual Review of Pierce County, Wisconsin. The Prescott Transcript. 2. 19. pp. 14.